Welcome to the weekly shir, the Zer Shimshon. Today, Wednesday, actually, was the Chaf Beis Elul, Tafshin Pei Daled. It's only a few more days. And also on this day in history, it was the yahrzeit of Mordechai Dov of Heinrich Steipel, a famous rabbi of Heinrich Steipel. And there's many stories I could tell you about him, but anyway, I just wanted to mention his name, Shehav Eli Neshama, in the schus of our learning, and because it's very close to my Rebbe's grandfather, okay, and Shehav Elias Neshama. His brother is buried in Chicago, Reb Leibler, and Reb Ben Sion said he would go there to put names down on the kever. That's a Shama, read names by the kever. So okay, I'm in Vav and Vayeilich. It's this week's a parsha, a double parsha, a Nitzavim-Vayeilich, so we can catch up and finish the year with the right parshas. And I'm doing Vav in Parshas Vayeilich, and it's shaykh to upcoming holiday, Yom Tov, Rosh Hashanah. Meseches Rosh Hashanah in Perek Daled says, Daf Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, Ein Peischim me'asara malchius me'asara zichreinos me'asara shofar. So you don't do less than 10 malchius, psukim of malchius, and 10 psukim of zichreinos, and 10 psukim of shofars. Okay, that's why we have such a long davening Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah. Hani asara malchius keneged me. So the more I asked her, these 10 malchius, why did they do that? It was keneged what? The Omar Rabbi Yochanan keneged asara ma'amorei shebahem nivra ha'olam. Well, that's against, it's opposite the 10 utterances that the world was created with. My nihu, so what are they? Ilema vayarmer the Bereshis hani teisha havyan. So if you count the vayarmers in Parshas Bereshis, there's only 9. So the Gemara answers, Bereshis nami maimerhu. The Chesiv, it says, B'dvar Hashem nasu shamayim nasu. B'dvar Hashem, the word of God, the heavens were created. So that's the answer with the Bereshis itself. Bereshis bar lakim, Eis HaShamayim ve'Eis HaOretz is a maimer. Okay. Makshim, the Beloy Zehayaloi lehakshes. So without this, you could ask a question. Masnis in the Mishnah, in Meseches Avos, that it says there in Perek Hey Mishnah Aleph, V'asara ma'amores nivra ha'olam. In 10 utterances, the world was created. U'ma shaykh lahakshes ma'iniu. So what is it pertinent to ask? What are they? What are they? You can read it. It's in the psukim. So the Koma asara malchis keneged asara ma'amores. Why do we have to say that the 10 malchis that we're saying is keneged the 10 utterances? So why does the Torah, the Gemara, ask the question, these 10 malchis, what are they against? In other words, what are they opposite? What are they coming to represent? So Maishna malchus, then why dafka and the malchus? We have to send 10. We have to say 10 zichreinos and 10 shofars. So why did they only ask this question by malchus? Okay, so hayaloi loimer hani asara psukim the mashma kol asara psukim ben the malchus ben zichreinos ben the shofars. So you got to say 10 psukim for everything, for the malchus and the zichreinos and the shofars. So what's the problem? V'hashta mashma de adarava the loy kasha le elam malchus dafka. So I understood that the question is only by malchus. Okay, why are there 10? V'yesh leimer jakasov of Midrash Shmuel Sham. Midrash Shmuel is one of the meforshim on the Pirkei Avos. It says there, Beferish HaMishnah, Shehutzuchu Asara Ma'amoris Labriyas Ha'olam. You needed to have 10 utterances for the creation of the world. This is kind of deep. Watch, hey, pay attention. The Fishal Yodam Nizgalu V'Nizgashmu Ha'dvorim Kasherhim Ata. Okay, because through the Asara Ma'amoris, the 10 utterances, the world became more megusham, more materialistic, like we have it now. Ve'im haya nivra b'maimer echad. So if the world would have been created with one utterance, that's the first one, Breshis bara, right? Ech haya hakol b'dakus haberuchnius b'tachlis. It would have been very supernatural, a very spiritual world, in a perfection world of spirituality. V'lo haya yetzahara, there wouldn't be a yetzahara. Misham hachi ratza she is pashit oid b'ma'amaris acheres. Therefore, God wanted that the influence or the affluence should be go spread out more over in the entire world. Until it becomes thick with gashmius, like a stone. Okay. But and then there would be a Yetzahara, which is in one of the Gemaras, it's called a stone. And therefore, when we have a Yetzahara, then we get a reward and punishment. The truth is, then we have to have it for sure that the world had to be created with 10 utterances. The difference is between the first utterance with Breshis bara and the other utterances. In the first utterance, everything was completely spiritual. It was on a very high spiritual plane. Okay, okay, when he started with the second mimer, then it began to become more materialistic. If we can imagine spiritual things being materialistic, but more materialistic than the other one before it. Okay. Ad hasiri shinzgashim lagamri, until the final one, which is Malchus, that becomes completely materialistic, like we have with the world today. Therefore, the Mishnah, when it says that in 10 utterances the world was created, so we don't have to ask what were they, why were they. The Torah itself only says 9 vayomers, and the 10th one is not a vayomer. Emes shahaya asara ma'amaris, right? That truly were 10 utterances. Rak lefi shahamaymer harishin haya b'shuna me'achirim, but the first utterance was completely different from the others. Shadayin haya hakol beruchnius gomor. The first mimer was on a very high level in spirituality, and those that know a little bit about the spheres, it was Keter. So that was a very high level of spirituality that you can't even imagine how high it is, and how we don't have a relationship to it. We don't have an understanding how spiritual that is. So therefore, therefore, by the first mimer, but first utterance, it doesn't say the word vayomer. Okay? But God did create that way. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. Okay, well, maybe I'll do one a little bit more. It says, "Avalkanda Omer Rabbi Yochanan keneged asara ma'amari shebein shebahem nivra ha'ila mishum hachi boy maimer niu." He said, Rabbi Yochanan said the world was created with 10 ma'amaris. That's why we need to say 10 utterances by the Malchuyos. We need to remember that. We need to mention that. Mainiu, what are they? Shahari Einam Elo Stations. There are only 9. So what? The first mimer is different from the others. The like Sibe Amira. It doesn't say the word Vayomer. Lefi Shahaya Ruchni is Gomer, because it was totally spiritual. We shouldn't even count it amongst the others. The Hainu Loimer Asara Psukim Neged Kulam Shenira mizeh shehim kulam shavim. We should just say 10 psukim against the Malchios, that we be equal to all of them together. V'tires, and the answer is, he answers, the Bereshis nami maimer. Bereshis is also a maimer. The hoyo v'karile mishbereshis mashma shehu reshis lakol habo acharav. So when we say it's reshis, it's everything that comes. It's the beginning of everything that comes afterwards. That was the inception of the Gashmias in a ruchnius fashion. Okay, v'im haya kulei ruchnius gamar lahaya loy shaychus ka imam ma'amaris haboyim acharav. So if it would have been in that moment completely materialistic, then he wouldn't have needed any of the other ma'amaris afterwards. Just like there's no relationship of the ruchnius worlds to the gashmius worlds. They're very, very distant. Even though we say by us we are chelak elokam imal, but it's very hard to define what our ruchnius in ourselves is. We have to work on it and feel it and really recognize what we are and stimulated by Torah learning and tefillos and Ladav Tehillim. Mitzvah this Shabbos is also Shabbos Mevorchim, in which you don't make a blessing for Elul because we want to confuse the Yetzer Hara, another reason. But in any event, we still say the Tehillim Mitzvah Shem. Have a wonderful new year, Mitzvah Shem. I don't think I'll be saying next week because it's Erev Rosh Hashanah, so I'll be skipping a week. Okay. Everybody have a wonderful and blessed and fulfilling new year with much ruchnius and gashmius, with all this through all the spiritual and physical world. Kol Tov Zaygibesh.